How many friends do we really need to be happy? That is the question of the hour. I'm talking to Collett, our resident psychologist, about that. Now, friends, we can all do with them or we can all do without them. I don't know.
I think especially in this social media age where we all have 5,621 friends or whatever, you know.
How many of them do you actually talk to?
That's exactly right. And it's fascinating because a university professor had a look at how many friends we really need to be happy.
Right.
So he said we can all cope with about 150 friends in our lives, but then he breaks it down into different categories, and it also depends on, I think, your age or your stage and really your personality, because friendship is really dependent on how much energy and time you have to invest in relationships, and that changes as we have children or don't have children or have careers or you know, move countries or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So he breaks it down into 4 areas. He says we all have a really close network of about 3 to 5 people.
Right.
So those are the people where we have the most invested, meaningful relationships. They do the day-to-day stuff of life with us. Then he says out of that, we then have about another 10 close friends. Those are people who we would still be really devastated if they passed away or their lives really quite affect us. Then after that...
I love that that's the benchmark. If they die, they matter to us.
That's fascinating, isn't it? I wonder how he came up with that. And then he said after that, there's about 35 people. And, you know, this is give or take, but the average is around 35. Those would be people at work who, you know a bit about their lives. They're kind of the acquaintances, but you know a little bit more about them. Then the 100 people after that are your actual just acquaintances.
Acquaintances, right.
25% of that, he says, is actually family and extended family. Okay. Just because you share DNA with someone doesn't necessarily mean you will be close with them.
Right.
But then some people, their best friend might be their cousin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hone in a little bit more on the 3
And I feel
to
like
5.
your friends are the family that God's given you. So
yes.
I love having friends, but I notice that as I get older, the circle has definitely got smaller, and I like it that way.
And it's fascinating because he says in your 20s, quantity matters, but after 30, it's quality. And so your circle does get smaller. It's really about those people who invest in your life and you invest in their life. And it does come down to energy and time, I think, because, you know, your lives are busier or fuller, particularly if you're a parent or you've got a career. And so it is about the quality. And those people are the ones that you do the day-to-day stuff of life with. You share parenting, you share career advice. They're good for your well-being. And so friendships
and good for your soul.
Yes. Friendships are very important for our well-being. Yeah. But also, he says, be careful that you don't hone in on, if I don't have 3, I must be a lonely person. Because for some people, it could be 1. Right. I know my dearest friend is someone that I've met in my 40s.
And according to one of our producers, none. So...
No, we need friends. We need friends. You need at least one decent, good friend in your life that you can share life with. But, you know, for me, the person that I share my weeks with, we meet for coffee every week. We share... child-rearing advice, teenage parenting advice, marriage advice.
I think they're also the people that you can just pick off.
Yes.
Pick up and just wherever you left off, you don't need to...
Yeah, and you don't have to explain yourself if you haven't seen each other, you know, for 2 weeks or 2 months or... That's what matters. So it's really about the quality as you get older, but really it will depend on your personality and depend on you, but we do need relationships for our well-being. Okay. And so that is something important to take away from this. And so it's opening yourself up and one of the things is it's never too late. And so even as you're older, find ways, places you can meet people because it's good for you. Yeah,
and it's so important as mums, I guess, to make sure we have those connections in the community because it really does take a village to raise your children. Yes, and I think that's what the Mums at the Table small Facebook group. Yes. There's a beautiful group that's created a community. So yeah, if you are lonely, join that community. Well said. Thank you so much, Collett. Keep it locked right here at Mums at the Table.